Hello. I was digging around in Photoshop because I'm working on our new product. And I thought, why am I not screencasting this? This is interesting. If you're really boring, this is interesting. I actually think it might be interesting even if you personally are not boring because I'm going to work on some branding and logo ideas for our new software as a service. We're calling it Sweep. I'm going to have to go into what Sweep is at a later time. But right now I'm picking fonts because that's what designers do. We pick fonts. That's not really what designers do. So the font, the typeface, more correctly, that we've been using for a lot of our branding lately is Sharp Sans. Now, the thing about branding is that consistency is pretty much always a good thing if you have a family of products. So stacking the bricks, 30 by 500, which we're going to rebrand, by the way, and so on and so forth. It's good for them to have some sort of consistent design language. That doesn't mean I'm going to lock myself into using Sharp Sans if it doesn't seem the right typeface for Sweep. Sweep is a productivity tool, and I'm going to insert some sketch wireframes right here. Bam. So Sweep is going to help you with any kind of recurring tasks, whether they're chronological recurring tasks or subtasks within a recurring project. Like there might be 10 steps for you to produce a blog post, or there might be 8 weeks of work for you to complete Year of Hustle. I'm calling Sweep a completion engine because I'm a wanker who thinks about things like that and says them unironically, but I am also self aware. So, sweep is all about helping you get stuff done. You sweep through the work. The green of completion sweeps through the board. It does not have to do with brooms. And I'm not sure how I feel about sharp sans for this. I have already chosen the name sweep for all of those reasons. You can use it as a verb. You can say, I'm going to sweep it. I'm going to work on sweep. Have you put that in sweep? So on. It really makes sense as a product name. But I'm not so sure that it's very pretty as a word. I think sweep is actually a rather ugly word. However, it is, kind of symmetrical, which is interesting and might be something I play with. I am not a fancy, famous logo designer type. I don't do like incredibly amazing logos. I get by. I do good enough. Logos, are overrated in a lot of ways. And I'm not saying that because I'm not amazing at it. Logos with enough use are going to seem brilliant unless they're terrible. Like, what on earth is the Nike swoosh, right? It looks like a sideways grin. It doesn't really have anything to do with running. It was designed by a student for basically nothing. But now it's one of the most powerful brands simply because we've been exposed to it 8 million times. I'm obviously not founding the new Nike, but I'm not going to lay too much stress on my logo either. But I wanted to have a feeling because for me, designing is about evoking a feeling when it comes to typography. Once you get rid of, once you take care of readability and whatnot. So Sweep is an app that you're going to use to get shit done. So I want it to feel like powerful and like modern and active, if that makes sense. And I don't know that I like the way this looks. So I'm gesturing and you can't see me. I'm pointing at this. So Sharp Sans Bold is the one I've got now. Now we actually own this font and we paid a lot for the web font as well. So it makes a lot of sense. I can't even, stupid Photoshop. It makes a lot of sense for us to use it. It is consistent. But let's see how the other ones look. See, the letter forms just aren't pretty. You've got E, E, P, and those are nice and round. And on the left, you've got the S and W, which, I don't know, they don't look all that great together. I'm kind of feeling a script. Like, what if you connected the S through the W and through the E's? But on the other hand, cursive type script is hard to read. So I'll try something. was, I kind of like the way this looks. Looks really fresh. I'm gonna doop, doop, doop. Look how professional I am. I'm just gonna randomly drag stuff. I do have a handwriting font that I have used. Cool. Thanks, Photoshop. A lot. And it's this one. And I don't know how I feel about that. What if I were going to just kind of like mock it up? Watch me be totally professional. Where's my pen tool? Brush. Pencil. No, too big. These controls are really fidgety. All right, it's too big. What's that, 6? I'll go with 3. It's 85% hardness. That's what she said. What if... For me, when it comes to design, I do my wireframes and stuff and my sketches of the flow and whatnot always in advance. And sometimes I have an idea of where I'm going with the design visually before I sit down to work on it. But a lot of times I just kind of play until something feels perfect. I can't draw worth shit. Wow, I'm bad. All right, that's too hard. Yeah. It jumped right to 69%. Photoshop, you get me. This one's going to be harder. I suck at this so bad. If I were to actually produce the logo with this sort of idea, I would be doing it with curves in Illustrator. But just to get an idea if it's worth it at all, I'm not going to mess with Bezier curves. I kind of hate them. I know I'm the only one. Everyone else is like, yeah, Bezier is the best. I do not, just simply do not get it. Maybe if I go down here and kind of like angle from here. Yeah, I'll try that. The polygon lasso is my favorite tool, though. I'm sure there's some Photoshop experts out there screaming, Amy, why are you being so inefficient? Feel free to tell me what I'm doing wrong. I find it interesting. Missed a spot. If you ever wondered what it's like to live in my head, well, now you know. I think it's all about the forward motion. That's what this app's about. Gonna go sort of Memphis-y. Woo! No. That's gonna be hard to read. It looks like I got drunk. Go home, logo. You're drunk. Oh man, why did I think that was a good idea? I'm kind of interested in this, but it looks like the W just has a whip. So I'm going to say that this is a fail. Bye. Okay, so that was down a rabbit hole that went nowhere. There was no rabbit at the end of that rabbit hole. I'm kind of digging this. Maybe the key is that we just go, yeah. Sweep is one of those words that if you just look at it for like 5 minutes, it doesn't look like a word anymore. Now, all words will do that eventually, but I feel like sweep is just especially prone to, I don't know, what's it called? Dissociation, I guess. Because you're like, is that word upside down? That could be upside down. Maybe it's deems, dams. See, this looks like an A in like a modern, ultra modern 1980s type font. Flip, 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 flip. My brain hurts. I could totally design like Bananarama album covers. All right. See, I actually just forgot that this was right way up. Oh God, this is hurting my brain. Oh God, my brain. I'm rubbing my face now. Can you hear it? I hope not. All right. So the idea of the cards flipping. Flipping is a major interface element we're going to have here. I'm going to make me some little cards. Nothing says success like black. I'm going to pick a good green, not too harsh. Maybe a little bit blue. What? How did I fail it? No stroke. 0. Ugh. Photoshop always changes stuff. I don't remember how things work. No. Opacity, 100. Just kind of exploring some design ideas. As you know, probably, I love pink. It's a color I use over and over again because most people don't use it, and I find it really energizing. Why? Am I like in a weird color space? Why is my color not going? There's no effects. Adjustments. Where's my color space? Proof colors? There we go. How'd that turn on? Now it's blinding. To click on the tiniest part or it won't work. Looks like a watermelon bubblelicious. AKA the bubblegum that haunted my childhood. I wanted it so bad and I could never find it. I'm sure Photoshop people are out there going, "Oh my God, you don't label your layers. How will anyone work with your crap?" Yeah, my husband complains about that all the time. I'm typing. Jeez. Why does it keep deselecting? Pink card. Oh, it's because my window is not docked. Range. Float. If I tile, I don't want to float. I want to unfloat. How do I dock it? Photoshop got so complicated. I've been using Photoshop since version 3. I know if it's not full. No, screw it. So the idea of sweep is that you load up your board and you view your board. And whenever you log in, you see your board, and things that are not done will be cards, and they will look differently than things that are done. And you're thinking, that sounds like Trello. But no, I'm actually basing this part of the design off what are called kamishibai boards. They're paper boards that are used with little physical cards that are red and green, that are used to manage recurring processes and have visual management on like the shop floor of lean manufacturing. That is super nerdy. It gets even nerdier. There are also ones that are called T cards that are very similar, that they're actually used in audit processes rather than like ongoing maintenance and stuff. But anyway, it's going to be a very visual project management tool. So we're going to have these cards that you will see, and they'll flip. They won't necessarily be pink and green for starters. Red and green is really harsh. Secondarily, of course, red-green colorblind is really common. So these colors probably look the same to someone with red-green color blindness. And so that won't be a thing that stays how they are. But I'm going to figure out some sort of visual way to indicate that in a simple logo that works. Maybe this should be a button, like a round. Can I still change the radius? No. Maybe? Shape, path. These the corner radiuses? Yes, I can change them. Ta-da. Right now in my head, I'm hearing the like do, 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 like from the beginning of the Mario Kart races. That's kind of my auditory inspiration right now. I know I sound like a crazy person. Everyone thinks, oh, Amy, she's so hyper rational. It's only if they don't know me. Let's see. I want to compare it to. I have a thing for really simple and graphic logos. Freckle is 3. Well, we don't have a very big logo on here, do we? 3 dots. Oh my, pop up. Cool. As far as this goes, I kind of like it. It's simple. I'm not 100% sold, but being able to keep the font, I feel like it's good enough for now. If that makes sense. I'm going to look at shippin6.com, another logo I designed. I'm sure I have the file somewhere. It's literally easier to load it, though. Huh. I just realized this page isn't supposed to have this on here, and yet it is. Migrating sites is difficult. I do like this logo. I don't know if anyone else noticed it, but I literally just repeated myself. I forgot that I put the segments in the eye followed by a dot. So I'm a big believer in eventual consistency, but also if you like look back on my design work, it takes several years, and then I'm like, oh, there's like this common design thread that's run through all of this work, even though I definitely wasn't thinking about it, and it wasn't like the motivating factor of the design. I'm all aware of those, but sometimes I unconsciously do the same thing repeatedly, like I just did now. That's special. See, this just looks cheesy. It looks too cute. And I used the really heavy sharp sands for that. Let's see. Let's try it. Not every word can tolerate being ultra bold. All right, let's make it. That doesn't even look like it goes together, even though there's like a very clear relationship with the logo type and the word. They're right there next to each other, but they don't look connected. Align it better. Yeah, it's interesting. Visual relationship there. Well, I think that this logo is good enough for now. And by good enough from now, I mean it's probably gonna be temporary, I say, and then end up being permanent because that's how these things work out. Because logos don't really matter that much. But I think this is different enough for now. I'll have to work on the colors and the precise kerning. There's too much space between the E and the P, for example. Maybe I'll just work on that now. Hope that you enjoy this fun little journey into the center of my design brain. Maybe it's even been useful. If so, let me know in the comments. If you see that I'm doing horrible things in Photoshop and want to correct me, please, by all means, do it. And look for the landing page for Sweep coming soon.